Hi guys, if you are reading a poem to analyze the figurative language and use that as a strategy to understand tone, you're going to be looking for things like personification, metaphors, and similes. But really you're looking for any time in the poem that the writer is not talking about something literal, that they're talking about something that's not real, that it's a use of figurative language or imaginative language. And the strategy that I want you all to use is using the background knowledge that you have of what the poem says to make an inference. So, in my example by Naomi Shihab Nye, this is the last stanza of a poem called The Writer. And she says, "A victory, to leave your loneliness panting behind you on some street corner, while you float free into a cloud of sudden azaleas, pink petals that have never felt loneliness, no matter how slowly they fell." So I pulled out the personification of loneliness panting behind you and two metaphors, a cloud of sudden azaleas, which is a metaphor because azaleas are flowers and they're not in a cloud, and then pink petals that have never felt loneliness. So my background knowledge here about panting, if I think about like what do I know about the things in this personification, I know that panting is something that you do when you're tired. It's like breathing heavy, and it reminds me of if a dog is running around or playing and gets tired. So I've built my background knowledge, I've thought about what I already know about the words in the personification, and then I make an inference. So if loneliness is panting behind the speaker, it feels like the loneliness can't keep up with her and she is escaping. And that's my inference that I have made based on my background knowledge. And then when I look at the metaphor, a cloud of sudden azaleas and pink petals that have never felt loneliness, I know azaleas are beautiful, bright pink flowers that grow on a bush. And because I know what the flower looks like, and I can look it up on Google image search if I don't, I can make the inference that the writer uses the metaphor to show that she feels ecstatic, to use a tone vocab word, and free. Like she's surrounded by this unexpected beauty. She didn't expect to have this sudden burst of color and flowers around her. So when I take my figurative language that I found in the poem and I activate my background knowledge and build some inferences, I can make an inference overall about the tone of the poem. So the question is, what do I understand? About how the speaker feels in this stanza, about escaping her loneliness, and my answer is that she feels joyous and celebratory as she rides her bike. And I see that because she's escaping loneliness, because this unexpected beauty is surrounding her on this bike ride. So what you're going to do with Kentucky, if that is one of the stations that you choose, is use the figurative language that's already been selected here. Build your background knowledge, which you all have from your annotations in your first read. So what do you already know about the once bloody hunting Eden of Kentucky? What do you already know about Black Lung? And then make an inference about why Frank X. Walker would talk about these things. Like, what is he trying to say? What metaphor is he trying to get across? And then you use your inferences and your background knowledge to help answer the questions as you go.